Okay, so we are prepping for a Jeep trip to the area of Chama, New Mexico. It's northern New Mexico up along the Colorado border. We're going to spend a couple, 3 days up there checking out some Jeep trails and exploring up and down the Chama River up there. We might take a look at the old railroad. And we're going to do a lot of videotape in videotape. I'm going to bring my high-8 camera. I'm going to bring my JVC DV500 that shoots in mini DV. And we're going to get some vintage footage of the Jeep on the trail and just whatever that we can see up there. So anyway, let's go take a look at the Jeep and see how we've got it packed up and prepped up to go. All right, so it's 100 degrees out here for this prep. And you can see in the front seat here, just as before, we've got the tripod set up. We'll be using the Sony AX700 for the trail cam. We got everything cleaned up. We've got our nav system up. The radio system is up. Everything's working. It's all cleaned up and serviced, okay? So in the back seat here, all right, you can see we've got the fridge. We got it hooked up to AC power right now, and we're chilling that down. All right, survival gear in the back here, always ready to walk out. So our motto is, if you can't get out in the Jeep, you have to get out on foot. Just be prepared for it. So we got everything we need in those packs right there to. If we got to throw on a pack and hike out, that's what we got to do. Recovery gear and breakdown equipment. Engine completely serviced. We've got the high lift jack on the hood there. Oil change, tire rotation. We are ready to go. Let's hope we don't have any major issues. As y'all know, we've had those before. Okay, so we're going to be calling this Expedition 63.11. It's going to be an extreme expedition. That means I will be alone. No backup, no support, one vehicle. Milena's in Colombia. Kids are busy with work. It's just going to be me on this one. Now, where we're going, they are experiencing heavy monsoons, so we have rented a cabin in the woods. We'll get you some images of that, and we're not going to be camping on this unless we have a change of plans, but just because of the weather and so forth. The monsoons have been hitting mainly in the evening time, so that should give us a good day. And you know, we're okay with the rain and the monsoons as long as we stay out of the washes. You've seen some of our videos before. We're pretty safe with that. Now, I get asked, why am I filming again? Why am I filming on videotape? We're not going to film everything on videotape, guys. I've got the Sony AX700 coming along, which beautiful 4K. We'll be getting with that, but I do like to get some videotape. I like to edit it. I like using the old AV roll edit system that I've rebuilt from the past. Original equipment, all had it restored, and just to give it that vintage look. So if we happen to get to where we can see some of these historic trains, we might shoot some footage with that in the with the tape cameras just to give you a look at it. So anyway, we got a little bit more packing to do, and we're going to try to leave around 6 a.m. so we can get to Amarillo before the heat rises and take it from there. So we'll be checking in from the road. All right, so it is 7:50. We are just outside of Wichita Falls, and we are well on our way. It took us an hour and a half just to get through Dallas-Fort Worth, even leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning. So a little tired here. It's warming up outside. It's going to be in the hundreds here pretty quick, so we're going to try to get past Amarillo before the temperature gets too hot. So anyway, we are well on our way to northern New Mexico. All right, so we're just outside of Amarillo. Stopped and got some lunch in Amarillo, gassed up. Heading into New Mexico now. Looks like we may run into some monsoons ahead. It is monsoon season, and they've been getting quite a bit of it there. Let's see what the road has in store for us. We'll be back. All right, so it's morning of day 2. We're at Bonanillo, just north of Albuquerque. Usual spot that we stay at between Colorado and Utah and home. Pretty good spot here. Anyway, we had a rough day yesterday. We had 4 engine failures on I-40 trucking up those big hills coming into Albuquerque, and the code reader said that we were having multiple cylinder misfire. So we don't know what that was. It could be bad gas, and I'm hoping that's what it is. So we've gassed up with some higher octane gas, and we're hoping that hoping that that fixed the problem. So anyway, we are going to try a scenic route to Chama today, and there's very little phone service, cell service on this route. So everything seems to be okay, but we're taking a bit of a chance here. So let's head out for day 2. This is Expedition 63.11. So after a lengthy drive, we finally made it, and we have checked into a fishing lodge just outside of Chama, New Mexico. So here's a few shots of the grounds with the DV500, and we got checked in with no issues. And from here, we're going to go to the train yard and check that out. The Chama Historical Train Station, very interesting. It's like taking a step back in time. So we were able to roam around the yard. The people there very, very friendly. Allowed me to get some footage and some shots, as you see here, with the Sony CCD VX3 in high 8. We also purchased tickets so we can ride the train tomorrow, and we'll have more video coming up. We're going to take the AX700 on the train, but just take a look at these old train cars, these antiques that are still in service, and how we get this image collected in high 8. It looks fantastic. Now let's get some footage of this train in action. So the afternoon train arrives at about 4:30 p.m. We drove all the way up to the pass, which is right up on the Continental Divide, and we shot video of the train leaving there and then picked it up at the railroad crossings along Highway 17. Once again, we're filming with the Sony CCD VX3, getting these images in high 8 so we can give more of a historical look, a historical image to how this train looked back in the day. So enjoy this train, over 100 years old, in action, pulling passengers from Colorado to New Mexico as we film in high 8 for your enjoyment. Morning, welcome to day 2. We are at the Scenic Railroad Station, the Camcorders and Toltec Scenic Railroad. It's an old steam engine, and we're going to do something completely different today. We're going to take a day and we're going to ride this old train. You know, I used to work for the railroad when I got out of high school for a couple of years, and then of course my father worked at the railroad for 40 plus years, and then another 17 years at the transit system. So we're kind of a railroad family in that sense. But anyway, we're gonna take the halfway route, where we're gonna go halfway of the 60-mile trek, change trains, and come back. So this should be fun. And a little look inside the car. Kiddos.
Good morning. How are you folks?
Good. How are you, ma'am?
Good. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay guys, this is the car that we're traveling in here. And they call this the, not the Polar car. Basically it's the first class. Real great, real nice service in here. Not very crowded today. Able to up and move around, and it's been a really good experience. It's the open car here. There's the water tank. And right behind it should be the coal tower. Well, that wasn't a Jeep trip. We didn't get stuck. We didn't tear anything up. Didn't get to use any winches or anything like that. But guys, that was a lot of fun. That was like getting into a time capsule and going back to the past. I really enjoyed that. It was very relaxing, which I needed. Very leisurely. There was no hurry. No hurry to get to any certain location. The service was awesome. The coffee was good. Lunch was incredible. You know, nice people, kind of an older crowd for the most part, but yeah, there were some kids there too. Views were stunning. It was a good time, okay? Literally riding in a train from the turn of the last century, and we went 60 some odd miles, 30 something miles out, 30 something miles back. So I would highly recommend that, and I do plan on doing it again. It's a good break from the things that we usually do, and it's nice to let somebody else do all the work. So anyway, we'll get this video out to y'all, and appreciate you following along. We'll be back on this with the family for sure. Okay, so on day 3, we've been out getting some exterior footage of these trains. So we've filmed with the DV500 in digital video, and we filmed some with the drone. We were able to get some shots up on a high curb on a kind of a shelf area up there. And now we're on the Antonido side at the railroad yard, and we're getting some shots there. So we're going to have a variety of different types of formats of video for you on this presentation of the Cumbres and Toltec Railroad. There's more to follow. All right, so we're taking the road up to the Kerr Lake area today, which is north of Chama, kind of west of Antonito, and supposed to be some pretty good scenery up here as well as some trails. Now, we've had an issue. The clutch on our brand new air conditioning compressor burned up, okay? I mean, it went out hard. It actually put drag on the engine. I thought the transmission had gone out. But once I slowed down, I could hear it whirling, and I shut off the AC, and the problem corrected itself. But I have no air conditioning, and the mosquitoes are atrocious, especially when you're in the wooded area. And then we're on the trails, the dust is really, really bad. So there's times when I need the windows up, okay, for self-preservation. if not anything else. But we'll see what we can do and just do the best we can. But for right now, it's our last day out. We're headed up to the Kerr Lake area just to see what we can see. We'll be back. Just a little look out the window. We're in the high country now.